Cashier kindness costs him his job. But what happens next will shock you. The night was quiet, and the city lights flickered outside Ben's small apartment window. He sat at his desk, scribbling notes on a piece of paper, his mind racing through ideas for job applications. He had lost his job earlier that day, but he knew he couldn't afford to dwell on it for long. Bills had to be paid, and he needed to find work fast. But his thoughts kept drifting back to the teenage mother from the store. The desperation in her eyes, the way she clutched the can of baby formula like it was her lifeline, the way her fingers trembled when she touched the pack of diapers. Ben had seen her struggle, had understood it without words. That's why he had stepped in, pulling out his own wallet and covering the cost. He hadn't done it for attention, hadn't done it for gratitude. He had done it because it was the right thing to do, and yet doing the right thing had cost him his job. The store manager had pulled him aside, his tone grave as he explained that store policy didn't allow for employees to give away merchandise, even if it was out of kindness. No exceptions, no understanding. Just a cold, hard rule that left no room for compassion. Ben sighed, running a hand through his hair. He wasn't angry, well, maybe a little, but mostly he was just tired. He had acted on instinct, and now he was paying the price. Little did he know, his life was about to change in ways he never could have imagined. The next morning, he was startled awake by a deep rhythmic hum outside his window. It took him a moment to process what was happening, but as he rubbed the sleep from his eyes and peered outside, his breath caught in his throat. A sleek black helicopter was descending into the small parking lot behind his building. Dust and leaves swirled in the air as the powerful rotor blades slowed. Ben blinked in disbelief. What in the world was going on? A sharp knock at his door snapped him out of his thoughts. His pulse quickened as he moved cautiously toward the door and opened it. Standing in the hallway were two men in dark suits. They looked like they had stepped straight out of a movie, professional, serious, and carrying an air of authority. "Ben Foster?" one of them asked, his voice steady and polite. Ben swallowed. Yeah?" The taller man extended his hand. "Good morning, Mr. Foster. My name is William, and this is my colleague Daniels. We're here on behalf of Mr. Harris." Ben's mind reeled. "Mr. Harris?" The name rang a bell, a big one. "Wait, you mean the billionaire? The one who owns all those tech companies?" William nodded. "That's correct. Mr. Harris would like to meet with you personally." Ben's brow furrowed in confusion. "Why? I mean, what does he want with me?" William's expression remained unreadable. "He'll explain everything himself. If you'll come with us, the helicopter is waiting." Ben hesitated for only a moment before nodding. His curiosity outweighed his nerves. Grabbing his jacket, he followed the two men outside. The moment he stepped onto the helipad, a rush of adrenaline coursed through him. This was surreal. Only yesterday he was a cashier at a grocery store, and now he was stepping into a private helicopter to meet one of the most powerful men in the country. The ride was smooth, but Ben barely noticed. His mind was racing with possibilities. What could this possibly be about? When they landed, he was escorted into a massive estate, grand yet tasteful. The moment he stepped inside, a tall man with sharp features and an air of quiet authority greeted him. "Mr. Foster," the man said, extending a hand. "I'm Richard Harris. Thank you for coming." Ben shook his hand, still confused. Of course. But why am I here?" Harris gestured toward a nearby seating area. "Please sit. There's something I need to tell you." Ben complied, his heart pounding. Harris took a deep breath before speaking. "It's about my daughter." Ben's eyes widened. "Your daughter?" "Yes," Harris said, his voice tinged with emotion. "The young woman you helped at the store yesterday. That was my daughter, Maria." Ben's mind reeled. The struggling teenage mother, the girl who couldn't afford diapers. She was the daughter of this man? But she was struggling. She didn't have enough money to buy both formula and diapers. How? Harris sighed. "It's complicated. Maria made some choices, some mistakes. She trusted the wrong person, and when things went south, she was too proud to come back home. She wanted to prove she could do it on her own. But she was struggling more than she let on." Ben listened, his heart heavy. He thought about the look in Maria's eyes at the store, the weight she carried on her shoulders. She had been completely alone. I only found out about her situation recently, Harris continued. And when she told me what happened at the store, about how you stepped in to help her, it meant more to me than I can express. Ben shifted uncomfortably. I just did what anyone would do. Harris smiled. You'd be surprised how many people wouldn't. He stood, retrieving an envelope from the table. Maria and I wanted to thank you properly. Ben hesitated before taking it. When he opened it, his breath caught. Inside was more money than he had ever seen in his life. This is too much, he stammered. I can't accept this. Harris placed a firm hand on his shoulder. It's not just for the diapers. Think of it as an investment in your future. We know you lost your job because of what you did. That shouldn't have happened. Ben swallowed hard, emotion welling in his chest. And there's one more thing, Harris continued. You're looking for work, aren't you? Ben nodded slowly. Well, I'd like to offer you a position at my company. You've shown integrity and compassion, qualities we value deeply. If you're willing, there's a place for you. Ben's heart pounded. A real job, a chance at a future he never thought was possible. He had worked so hard, sacrificing so much just to make ends meet. And now, because of one small act of kindness, his life was changing in ways he could never have imagined. He looked at Mr. Harris, then at Maria, who was standing nearby with her baby in her arms. The weight of everything settled on him, and for the first time in a long time, he felt a sense of hope. I don't know what to say, he finally managed. Harris smiled warmly. Say yes. Ben took a deep breath, then nodded. Yes. And just like that, his life changed forever. If this story moved you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Hidden Truths. Your support helps us bring you more inspiring stories just like this one. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.